Here's Johnny. Thank you. Tell me why can't we be friends? All the lonely people. One is the loneliest number that you ever knew. Hey, what's that? Like that on Martin. You know, the TV show comedy male character for that hit vintage classic pop culture TV show comedy. Boom, boom. Martin, boom, boom. I'm the man. Spartans, are you ready? That just get me thinking. One of my TikTok social media channels, one of two, or do I have a few of them, two or three? I know I have at least a couple or two. It's supposed to have in its name title, that being marching. Hold that thought. There you are. That's my TikTok social media channel. Read them and weep. Not that I'm gambling, right. But then the last time I had gambled, being of which was just yesterday, man, I lost the grip. So far, I haven't gambled money on those gambling machines for a business address location. I'm just glad I myself personally hadn't or didn't or whatever I said. Excuse, partner, forgive me for butchering the English language as it of our own native tongue of the American dialect with all of its qualities and quantities of grammatical usages. And as I think of it with my mind's attention to try to backtrack here, the reason or purpose of being, or if I can go on following to continue from where and when my person at last left off so I can finish up as a complete a form previous prior line thought and then saying just a word. Or however said, and or regardless of how I myself can or could possibly, worse yet, be butchering that are the same as I was saying, stating for the record, or if I did not say that to state for the record before, then so I do so now and express myself. Then if I have, then there's no harm in repeating myself, Yeah. Regardless of whether or not I am butchering the English language of our own American dialect and have with all these grammatical usages, qualities and quantities. Then, anyway, I'm just thankful that I had not gambled any rent money or utilities, fee bill payments, or likewise any cell phone money that has to be paid to, keep my cell phone service active. You know what I'm saying? Especially in times like these when you don't just need a savior, but you need the savior, the one and only, our Lord and Savior, the Christ, the Messiah, deliverer. Yeah, the Lord of Lords, the King of Kings, the Rabbi of Rabbis, the Prince of Peace. And especially if you were to be living in or dying in or residing in a vicinity area, neighborhood community, being one of the less preferred ones, like where I'm at now, but one that is more poverty stricken, and or crime ridden, thanks to another neighbor from down here who could possibly be compared on to my, my present one, just the main one in particular among these worst or worstest of neighbors from down here, and one of the worst or worstest of the vicinity neighborhood communities within city limits for the city of metropolitan Chicago, Illinois, for the Midwest of the USA, and as he himself is a local drug pusher and a dope dealer who thinks in his rather wicked, mindset that he himself has a legit personal vendetta or grudge match with me, and whereas I'm having to, dial the emergency number 911 for police assistance upon him already, most recently, at least a few times, to address the issue of why is he acting or misbehaving so much in an insane and a crazy kind of way with me. Well, he's more creepy than stupid and crazy. The same one, then of whom I suspect is the main one who be bothering with my apartment door, daily and nightly, especially at night, within the late night evening hours. You know, and whereas I wouldn't have had to move here in the first place, you know, within one of the less preferred vicinity area neighborhood communities, if it had not been from there for another neighbor from damn hell, male character, license time, having got me booted out of a better neighborhood, between lines, fill in the blanks, yeah, only after he had convinced the management of the building, being administrative real estate personnel, at some such given moment in time, to give me the boot after I went through all the proper policies and procedures and protocol to address the issue of his daily and nightly, especially his nightly violations of his apartment rental lease, and his total disregard or complete disrespect for my own rights and privileges as his fellow neighbor. And whereas he flipped the script by doing just that, whereas they themselves being a administrative representative personnel for a better neighborhood could have possibly been eavesdropping outside my apartment door and listening to me rant and rave about him. Hey, could you tone it down at least? It's not, that much more. Cut out all the racket, the noise making, you know, being as he is the likes of my past neighbors from damn hell, compared to the ones I have now who are more creepy than the other ones, you know. But anyway, though, and whereas from there, on short notice, user with the username Salan Tech Demar. And whereas, how you doing? All is well with you and yours, family and friends. Anyway, whereas from there, I'm having to relocate as a move to simply say to this here being one of the less preferred vicinity area neighborhood community within city limits. The city of metropolitan, the city of metropolitan Chicago with all of its neighboring suburbs. I'm doing quite well, I guess. Thank you for asking. So I answered the question. Then we're getting back to something such a, you know. And whereas I'm having to move here on short notice to one of the less preferred vicinity area neighborhood communities, just to keep from becoming of the rank and file of the derelict transients, as in translated to be defined as meaning homeless, and believe me when I say that homeless lifestyle is not any, what you call walk in the park or a picnic. Well, it is a walk in the park, but I know it's not a picnic. Yes, I appreciate the verbal sentiment that you had expressed, you know, in regard on reference to my person, using with the username of Tap Full Can. And anyway, though, and getting back to some of such others. So here I am now dealing with these other proverbial neighbors from down hell, or worse ones yet in the worst neighborhood, or of the worstest in one of the worstest of neighborhoods, and whereas they just get me reflecting upon, the gangster rappers, being of which is supposed to be for the present, social media broadcast of video content, and so now let me get to it here and now. Whereas I was researching matters about some of such, via that of current events, social media broadcast for a channel station or whatever I have to say. Channel station channel. And whereas I get the gangster rappers. I mean, when will they ever learn? Oh Lord have mercy. Free the slaves. Unshackle them from their chains of ignorance, insanity, and impoliteness, or let's simply say that word, stupidity, sickness, and our rudeness. And with the male chauvinistic, sexist pig attitudes, not to mention of some such other attitudes, being of which will remind me of a certain neighbor from damn hell. If you know what I mean, read between the lines of the blank, you know. And as I'm hearing it, as I've done some research matters on the likes of them, you know, whereas the gangster rappers, at one time or another, the music industry was a whole lot different, way different, you know. It was so much positivity, baby, the negativity, you know. Like, I remember quite a few, or more than quite a few, some of them, I can't remember them right offhand, compared to what I'm hearing nowadays in these modern times, being of a totally, completely, entirely different format. I kid you not. Where back then I remember how they were singing songs of positivity, like self-destruction. We're headed for self-destruction. I'm not afraid of the Ku Klux Klan. Why should I have to be afraid of a black man? You know, a fellow black man. And then there was, you know, like, you know, fight the powers that be. And now it's like, you know, it's totally, completely, entirely different. Like it's like, you know, something about. Let me think now. How that 150 Cent pop culture song them go? Have a baby with me and become a millionaire. Have a baby with me and become a millionaire. And not to mention one I had sung or hummed in the very beginning of this particular present social media broadcast of video content. We're living in a gangster paradise. Well, you and your homie may be the one with a chalk line to identify you, something like that. You know, it's crazy. And as I'm hearing, as I've done my research, the very reason and purpose why the format was changed, you know, yeah, the very reason or purpose why the format was changed is being that because at some given moment in time or another, whereas the music industry, they get to thinking, you know, the real shot callers or big business CEOs that governs all that, you know. Then at one time or another, I had heard how our own supposed so-called democratic republic of democracy of the USA is supposed to really just be, you know, like a big business company or corporation in his own right, with his own private police and military forces, according to conspiracy theory. Well, hopefully that's all it is. Then literally actually be a factual, you know, a factual acknowledgement, you know, statement. You know. But anyway, though, getting back to some of such others. So the music industry, big business CEOs of these different corporations or whatever I say, they get to thinking, you know, and as they are supposedly working hand in hand with some such others, the complement of conspiracy theory, you know, and in association with, you know, the many different secret societies and royal families, etc., where they get the same, and supposedly to speed dial the establishment of the NWO New World Order and or the OWG One World Government, which they were supposed to be saying in more words or less. we're not really making any money with all this positive rap music. So let's change the format because that's what we really want to see things, you know, skyrocket where we can hit the glass ceiling in the profit margins, as in, you know, mucho dineros, monetary financial currency. We're gonna have to change this. We're gonna have to go entirely in a whole different direction. We're gonna have to make a 360-degree turn. So they tell you know, the different rap artists. Maybe they rename themselves if they think they had got it down to science, and where some of them start calling themselves rap scientists. Well, I know this fool rapper being one in particular, he calls himself a rap god. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Might as well be calling himself a false god because that's all it is. You're promoting that other forces of darkness representing that other camp. You know, we fight not against mere men, but spiritual wickedness in high places. Then what do you think about the latest charge that was lobbied against former ex-president, DC president of the USA? Not that I'm wagging the dog as in changing the subject. I will get back to the original subject matter, topic of the discussion. Or give an argument to be debated with the many different views and opinions to be affiliated, associated with, and representing their, Anyway, whereas like I say, or how I say, our former ex-president, DC, a president of the USA, has been charged with becoming like Mr. Touchy-Feely president-elect. That weird moon Martian in the White House now. Who be like making like so much like touchy-feely in a way that is inappropriate, socially unacceptable, and could possibly be criminally illegal in his own right. And get you to reflecting upon a pop culture vintage classic song number, for a cartoon series, television production franchise that goes something like this here. So I paraphrase, if not what is that? Grown-ups don't understand. The children love him the most. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? What's the name of this here clown that has accused former ex-president DT is what I meant to say. Not President, JB or President ET. Moon Martian. Hopefully he's not smoking rocks in the White House like his son Hunter. But anyway, though, this one, Skeezer Skank had accused the former ex-presidency or president of USA of digging down somewhere where he don't belong, getting or attempting to get some such freebies for himself. I'm like wondering, how is it all these here, these different drama queens, they pop up out of nowhere after so many years, being silent, and then they want to be so outspoken. It kind of gets me to reflecting upon the charge that was lobbied against, Father Michael Flager of St. Sabina Catholic Church. Although I have my own personal views and opinions, as I suspect that he himself could have possibly done just that, as his accusers had claimed that he did, get rather touchy-feely or some such freebies from them himself being blackmails. But then moving right along and getting back to some such other for that being the original subject matter or a topic of discussion or given argument to be debated with the many different views and opinions to be affiliated and associated with and representing thereof, for that or some such given moment in time. And as I think to backtrack here, with reason or purpose of being, in order so I could complete that being of a former, previous, or prior line thought in Stance's word. And so these big business CEOs, they were saying, we're not making any money. off these rap artists, or rap gods. So let's change the format. And as I'm hearing it, where certain rappers had managed to be how you say invited to the inner circle, and whereas it was run down to them some of the supposed so-called best rappers. Check this out. You know, you're gonna have to promote even more of the negative rap lyrics to complement, you know, the rather bold musical melodies, and and we're gonna make you shareholders in this business because the more gangster rap sells and the more crimes to be committed. Whereas from there, as we worked in association with, the big business corporations or companies otherwise that governs the penal colonies, as in penitentiaries, the prison system, whereas, you know, we get practically and or possibly free labor coming from the different, you know, convicts, inmates, or jailbirds, then how we would have to shell out that much more dough to some of such others. I mean, whereas in comparison to the Mexican immigrants, the jailbirds, they're supplying us with, you know, practically or possibly free labor in their own right to manufacture item products or goods for the consumers, not only for our own continental USA, United States of America, was supposed or so-called Democratic Republic or democracy, but for the rest of the world that is affiliated, associated with, and or representing the global international community. So what do you say? Are you a part of the team? Are you with us on this here? But mind you, as we had you all fill out and sign this, that is disclosure, or rather confidentiality clause per content documented paperwork. Nothing that we say here can leave this room. Otherwise, you risk that collateral damage. In other words, your life could be put on the line. They could put out a contract hit on you, and you could possibly wind up with your clock stopping or quitting its ticking process, if you know what I mean. Whereas you could end up like Lisa Left Eye Lopez in a car accident, or like who's the white boy that sung that song, Rocky Mountain High? You could end up in a plane accident or plane crash. Yeah. I mean, that's something to think about. So here it is. They're promoting all this other kind of, music that is of so much negativity. Being of these rap artists, and at the same time, more than quite a few of them are known hoodlums or gangsters or gangbangers themselves. And whereas most recently they had found the assassin of a rival rap artist gangbanger. And now be he working with an accomplice or accomplice in crime or not, this one in particular being of the shooter had been given what was it, consecutive life sentences. Not that I would be meaning to spread misinformation, you know I know he's been given life in prison. That much I do know, without possibility of parole, if I do recall correctly. you know and just think, when you go to jail as a criminal, you're not the only one serving that sentence, but your family and the friends of your family have to serve that sentence with you. I remember hearing at one time or another, be it via that of or through a second or third party or whatever I've said, whereas a mom was telling her son. But then there was a similar situation with a grandma telling her grandson, or maybe it was an aunt telling her nephew, or whatever, or however the case or situation, where she herself was supposed to be saying at one given moment in time or another to her male sibling or relative, if you go to jail, I'm not going to pay a visit to see you. Not at any given moment in time, That is what you call tough love as well as hard fact. Because the mere thought of you being behind bars and you're not out here in civilian life trying to get your life together, trying to make something of yourself in a legit, legal way, I mean, it would just break my heart to have to pay you a visit each and every time and see you locked up, you know, and can't go nowhere, can't do what you want to do, can't better your life. So I don't know about any other female or woman matriarchs, but if you wind up behind bars, I'm not coming to see you. Believe me when I say that, I'm not coming to see you. And I'll go back to what I like saying. Like when you do time in the can or the crazy house for that matter, you're not the only one doing it. That stint. Your whole family and your friends and your family do it with you. Because they get to wondering what's going to become of him. Is he going to be okay? Is he going to make it up until the time that he be released or discharged from a confinement or incarceration facility, if and when, if at all? Not speaking on the lifers, lifers who get a life sentence behind bars without a possibility of parole. I just was researching matter just the other day about this one young male, the black and brown races of peeps and folks, or regardless of whether he himself was black or Hispanic. He was a young adolescent or teenage male, and whereas he had gotten some like consecutive life terms in the can himself. Man, well being put in the crazy house, because it's like Murder She Wrote. His life is over, done. When you hear you being charged with this or that, one of the much more severe, serious hate crimes, and you get a life sentence without any possibility of parole, and your life is done, over and done with. He's out, and that's sad. Not that I'm making fun of something, but I think y'all get the idea of what I'm like trying to say. You ain't got no more juice, man. From there, you can't do what you want to do, say what you want to say, and all being that because you was like out here before then in civilian life before you had become just just another number that is for the atmosphere of a penal colony for its premises of properties, a public or private facility at a given address location where you could have been out in the streets before then talking about can't nobody tell me nothing, can't tell me nothing, I'm gonna no. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And which you could be like another. Come on. Well, hopefully you would be having a light bulb come on in your head and be slipping in the darkness that much more. Like where it's be like everybody got something to say, and very few people supposed have very little here anyway. You know, factual statements or truth. Not that I was contradicting myself. You know. But some look at it the wrong way so far that last statement, yeah, where they get to expressing themselves and be so ill informed with a funky foul attitude and to compliment their conduct or behavior or their persona, you know. Guess me think about this one neighbor from down here of a local drug pusher and dope dealer. He put on the front for the boys in blue, the po-po, the fuzz, the big boss man, the police, Chicago. He's like saying, we got 8 billion people, 8 billion persons in the world, you know, and why should I be focusing my attention if I'm being bothered with somebody else's nonsense, you know, whereas I have a life. I'm just trying to live it, and if other people person don't like the way I'm carrying myself, if I'm just trying to be out here mind my own business, then to damn hell with them. You know, I ain't got time for all that nonsense or FBS. And yet, he spoke like so, whereas he contradicted himself. Because the very same day he carried on mouthing off like that, he goes back to his old routine. It's the same neighbor from down here. Especially when he gets to bother with my apartment door late at night. You know. Anyway, getting back to the original subject matter topic of discussion. So here it is. This one gangster rapper killed another gangster rapper. I had a contract hit put upon him, and the not the would-be assassin, but the assassin or the murderer killer. He's now been given a life sentence behind bars without any matters of parole. Just think. From there, you will be missing more than quite a few of your sibling relatives' birthdays and any of your loved ones' anniversaries, etc. You cooped up in the can or the crazy house with a bunch of other, you know, jailbirds and mental patients, and you looking at their faces every day and every night, you know. Okay, and you know that is the can in the crazy house. It's just another word for damn hell. Because you're going through a living hell when, that much more when you can't go where you want to go. You can't do what you want to do. You got to be told when to get up and when to go to bed. Okay, gentlemen, lights out. Lights out, gentlemen. Lights out. Okay, gentlemen, rise and shine. It's just another day and another dollar. You know. Well, more for the big boss man. Whereas I don't know about y'all youth, but at the end of my shift, I can go home, baby, and let my replacement take over from here. That's something to think about. But then they just get me remind me of some of such other. Hold that thought. Let's see, where was it at? Okay, I'm looking it up, y'all. Bear with me. Let me see. Yeah, I got it now. Let's see. There's coming to it. Whereas this one military soldier, you know, whereas he was caught sleeping at some given on time, sleeping on the job, you know, in a highly volatile area. Yeah, this is it. See that there, you all. Speaking about something relating to you know, that of you know, one minute, hold up. I gotta turn the volume up.
Morning, Defender. Good morning, Fight Chief. You know what we gotta do, right? Alright, let's make it quick.
Ain't that sad for sleeping on this post? Ain't that sad, you all? I mean, it's bad enough if you were to wind up or end up in a situation such as the case, the worst case scenario is that being, but at least you would have been trying to serve your country. If you were to wind up or end up in a military stockade, you know, then to just be out here and ain't doing nothing with your life and just getting into trouble and wind up in a much more familiar jailhouse, you know what I'm saying? That don't make any sense, you know. No, it doesn't. All the same is, you know, a local drug pushing dope dealer with neighbor from down hell talking some contradictory stuff, putting on the act for the police, but the very minute they leave, he's going back to his own old criminal behavior, you know, and risking only three alternatives to his particular alternative lifestyle preference. You know, only three alternative options, that is, so far the result of developments associated with it, and that is jail, the hospital, or the grave, you know, as a local neighborhood community drug pusher and a dope dealer. You know. Anyway, though, I'm about to close out, you all. I just thought to share this here present social media broadcast video with your person. And I close out by saying, if you haven't gotten Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, I would hope that you would think to do so now while the blood is still running warm in your veins, while the evil days come out, so to speak, or worse ones, whereas you would have the only fire insurance against the lake of fire down hell and could be considered as a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. You know, and people in down hell want light, they want ice water, you know. May you be in heaven a half an hour before the devil knows you're dead. Well, it's just bad enough to go through hell in this world and go to the real hell elsewhere. You all take care and be safe. We out. Peace.